I had to make separation happen. One of the biggest things that has pissed me off no end about all of this is, as I said, in the end of November, I received a letter in my gear as I was getting ready to go running with mates at 5 o'clock in the morning. I've woken up and there's this letter hanging out of my bag. John, I want to separate. Okay, cool. No warning, no nothing. Well, no warning. The relationship was shitty anyway, but yeah, we hadn't... Well, there wasn't a discussion, there wasn't a conversation, it was just, there's this letter. But in that process, I had to make the separation happen. I had to I was the one that she wanted to separate from me. Didn't know how she was going to do it. Didn't know what it meant. So, ask the question, what does that look like? Don't know. How does it work? Don't know. Okay, so what do we do? Don't know. So I need to make my own separation happen in order to please her. And part of me wanted to go, well, yeah, screw you, kiss my ass, tell your story walking. The reality was, our relationship was over. We'd been together since '96. She decided she wanted to separate in 2005. We separated for 18 months. She decided she wanted me back. In the beginning of 2007, February 2007, I came back. And within 12 months, more or less, she sort of said to me, I don't know whether I wanted to be married. She wanted to be married. Okay, you need to make your decision. We're in the process of selling the house I'd bought while we were separated. You need to make a decision that, because if we're not going to be together, I'm not going to sell the house, I'm going to keep it. No, I want to be together. And I remember that happening on, I can think of 3 other occasions when it happened. So it had been coming. But then it was pushed onto me to do it. How do we want the finances to break up? Well, I don't know. I've always seen it as your money. She hadn't worked. We'd been fortunate to be able to keep kids and her at home, keep her at home for kids, which is, I wouldn't change that for anything. She's a wonderful, wonderful mother. She's a fantastic mother. And the kids love her. So we were lucky in that regard, and she wanted to be at home. That's, all she's ever wanted to be was a mother. So, we're lucky in that regard. But how do I make my own separation happen? I was the one that proposed what it would look like. I was the one that proposed how things would break down. My own sense was try and maintain kids in the house. We've got youngest daughter in year 12. We've got eldest daughter, she finishes up uni middle of next year. And, people say to me, kids are resilient, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, if we can maintain that stability for them at least, for the girls, that would be really good in my eyes. So I've got to move out. It's the only way it can happen. I've got to move out. I've got to somehow put together the finances that can allow that to happen, at least for 18 months. If we sell everything, she gets, 80% of fuck all. If we... But that's the biggest thing that pissed me off. Not having her buy-in. It was a passive-aggressive of, I want out, but I'm not going to tell you or have input into how. And maybe I should have been harder, different, don't know. But I couldn't combat that. I didn't know how to. I don't know how to. And the end result is that I have a sense that I've given away a hell of a lot. Yeah, which sucks. As I've said in another one, no one wins in all of this, and I'm not suggesting she's living the life of luxury, putting her feet up, sipping margaritas by a pool, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. But, yeah, now I'm looking at, it's going to be bloody hard for the next few years. Bloody hard. So we see what happens. What's the opportunity here? The opportunity is I get to recreate my life. What have I got to lose? I've got nothing to lose, really. Worst case scenario, I go into instead of paying for a 2-bedroom place of $340 a week, I go into a 1-bedroom place, I can get away with $200 a week. That's what I've got to lose. I just downsize further. Caravan, worst case. But yeah, someone pointed out, what have you got to lose? And the reality is I don't know. I don't believe I've got much. As long as I can maintain the relationship with my kids, then I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. It'll just take me a long time to get back on my feet. But who knows what the future will bring.